So this is a game that's always been near and dear to my heart. And no, not just because of the memes or the fan art, though which, absolutely top fucking tier in terms of that. I can't even deny that. But I think mainly it's because it's the first game that I actually tried to put in a little bit of research and understanding of the game's mechanics. I mean, I grew up playing a little bit of Soul Calibur, Dragon Ball Z, but that was mainly button mashing and just to look cool, I didn't really think too deeply into it. And I'm always surprised how few people have actually played this game. I mean, I know fighting games have kind of lost their luster over the years, but I'm really surprised, especially like I said, dude, for a while there the fucking memes and fan art were everywhere. I'm actually kind of confused how little people have actually tried playing this. But no, the game itself is actually really, really fun. It's fast paced, it can get really intense. And if you're an aggressive type gamer like I am, it actually rewards you for being more aggressive. At least I'd like to think, compared to the other fighting games I've played. To where a lot of the times, especially once you kind of know what you're doing, in a lot of the other games, it feels like a poke war almost. Just to kind of see what you and your opponent knows, just kind of get that one hit in and then follow up. It's just a matter of who fucks up first. And there was really not a lot of nuance to that, I feel like. Because in this, no matter what your opponent's style is, there's always a way to counter it or find some way in and out to get yourself into a better position, pretty much. And of course, I know that in all these other games, of course, there are ways to get you out of situations, but like I said before, it seems to reward you being passive and patient, which, nothing wrong with that. But like I said, if you're an impatient, aggressive type personality like I am, it could kind of get infuriating because you want to keep doing things, yet if you go to do something, that's all it takes. So you just have to kind of sit back and kind of let your opponent punch himself out, just kind of miss an attack and capitalize on it. Or you can dive straight at them and find a way to counter them or throw them or do whatever. But like I said, this game does tend to reward you, especially once you get a prediction right. It can completely change the outcome of the fight. And when it comes to being aggressive, making that one good prediction really goes a long way, because like I said, it makes it feel a lot more rewarding that you were able to capitalize knowing how your opponent was fighting. But the fighting mechanics itself can be described as, I guess, a triangle system, I've heard people say, but I like rock, paper, scissors a bit more. It's pretty much just the basic stuff, counter strikes beat strikes, you can do a little counter hold. Then throws beat the counter holds, and then if you want to beat throws, you use strikes. And whenever you predict one in the right manner, you essentially double to quadruple your damage, which is absolutely fucking amazing. Yeah, this isn't a review or a breakdown or anything like that. It's mainly just a nostalgia thing for me. I haven't picked up this game, let alone gone online, in probably, a few years now. But I just kind of had that urge, some gameplay got recommended to me, and I'm like, dang, I gotta revisit this thing, man, because I did have so much fucking fun. And it's so cool, too, because apparently on PC, the community actually put together a mod, which pretty much just kind of revamps the mechanics just a little bit to make it more like the fifth one. And the fifth one is always a classic. I mean, it stood the test of time for a good bit. So it's good to see the community still sticking together with it and everything. Oh yeah, and another thing I genuinely enjoyed about this game too, it was a draw for me, but for some reason a lot of people kind of complained about it, or maybe it just wasn't their cup of tea with how they like to, go about fighting in these types of games. But apparently I've heard there's a lack of combos in this game, which I can kind of see, especially ones to where you have to have lots of inputs to finish a chain, especially if one's guaranteed and you can finish the entire string, or canceling out midway through if you have to, things like that. But in this game, there might be little combos here and there to get something started. But for the most part, it's mainly just a singular or just a few inputs, which I actually really enjoy because I think it helps with the mix-ups. Like, you can just pretty much create your own combos, like whatever personalized ones you just like going for. It doesn't, it might not be like max damage like some, of course, there are always going to be like the quote unquote strongest combos or way to capitalize or whatnot. But you could really kind of add your own flair and personality when it comes to this, whether it be juggling, stun locking, anything like that. And I guess it deters a lot of people for some reason. Like, I don't know, like I said, I genuinely enjoy this style of gameplay. I just like kind of seeing what I can get away with and just kind of just pecking at them and just kind of doing whatever I want and just be me. And that was enough for me, but like I said, some people might not prefer it, which I guess I get because it is fun just kind of going crazy and just hamburgling all over people. But like I said, this is definitely a good fun way to mix it up. And, don't be afraid to just kind of do whatever you want, even if it's not the quote unquote maximized way of doing it. So, yeah, I ended up just kind of getting curious, seeing if anyone still plays it, especially ranked match, because I was actually kind of leveling up on there. Like I said, this is the first game I actually kind of got into. But yeah, I was genuinely surprised. Like, I have a few matches I recorded from a night of playing, and I just had an absolute blast. Like, yeah, that's the one thing I always really enjoyed about fighting games too. It's just like, it doesn't matter your rank, your levels, yada yada yada. But as long as you're willing to fight, there's always the possibility of winning. Like, especially in this game, like, being in between ranks is the most awkward fucking thing ever. I mean, I'm sure it's like that on the other ones too, of course. Like, you rather get stuck fighting someone who's several ranks above you that just completely mops the floor with you, or you get into fights with people lower than you and you completely mop the floor with them. So a lot of times it feels like you're not exactly learning how to get better or anything like that. It's all about personal research, I guess, but it's definitely awkward because it becomes this back and forth grinding thing that you never know what the outcome's going to be. But like I said, it works both ways. So shit, I've completely destroyed people who are ranks above me, possibly because, they're trying out a new character or something like that. But like I said, as long as you're willing to fight, anything is possible in these types of games. It is unfortunate too, because I could list a multitude of reasons why people may not have picked it up, especially initially. It really did have all the worst things that could happen to a game, pretty much. Like, everything from how they were presented to the scheduling to the fuck ups, like, upon release. Like, dude, the online wasn't even all the way fucking set up. Like, you can play ranked, but you couldn't, like, set up a lobby or anything like that. So it's just like, why get a fighting game that you can't, like, fight your friends with? Like, it's so fucking ridiculous. And of course, like, the most popular thing, or one of them, I mean, from the fifth one was a tag team. So you could actually team up with one of your friends too and go through all kinds of modes with that. And they completely had to get rid of it. I don't know if it's because there's a new engine they were working with and maybe they weren't able to implement it as effectively as the fifth one. But it is unfortunate and it really slowed down the pace. Like, people came and went so fucking quick. Like, let alone before, that was before all the other things that they ended up doing wrong. But with all that being said, this is genuinely a very fun game. And if you haven't picked it up and gave it a shot, I do highly recommend it. And like I said, I haven't been online in years, so the gameplay you're seeing, I'm definitely kind of rusty. So if I drop some combos and I fuck up shit, don't get too mad at me. Or actually, you can. It's I understand it. But it has been a lot of fun revisiting this game, and I had so much fun the night I played. And you know what? I think I might play it a little bit more, especially while there's still people playing ranked. I mean, go ahead and capitalize on the opportunity while it's here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. And like I said, if you're debating trying it out, go for it, man. Like, this game really is a lot of fun. And yeah, hope you enjoyed and y'all have a good one.